Oh yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is your boy LegenTerry, and I'm here with my friend.
Aaron. Hi everybody.
Yep, this is my friend Aaron. So I know we usually talk about legends and stuff, but I wanted to bring my boy Aaron here to talk about one of my favorite comic book teams of all time,
The
the
Legion
Legion
of
of Superheroes.
Superheroes.
Yes, the 30th/31st century's greatest team of "We're just going to jump you."
Yeah. And they got the numbers for it. It's like 24 people
They
on the
do.
roster at any time.
Yeah. I think I don't even think I don't even think they know the idea of a one-on-one fight exists. I think they've heard of it like as a concept.
They try to be noble about it. They try to be
Yeah,
noble about it.
yeah. Like,
But then you see who they fighting and it's like, yeah, fuck nobility.
yeah, exactly. All right, so Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about about your history with the Legion? Which version of the team got you into the team?
Oh man, it was the post 0 hour version.
Ah, the reboot version. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, and then even then, the reboot version, it was the DNA, Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, the Legion.
Yeah.
Which,
Uh,
like, as a kid, it kind of reminded me of like Justice League, the cartoon,
yeah.
and how they did
Weirdly,
it.
weirdly, I got into them around the 2001 version.
Oh, even better, honestly.
Yeah, the youth rebellion
Oh,
era because
Mark
I don't know
Wade,
because
when,
uh, yeah
yeah,
because our viewers might not know this, but I am very much a black punker as well as a rap head and a metal head. So punk rebellion was always my jam.
yeah. No, that's a good era too, because that was honestly, I like what they did the concept there.
All right, so for those of you who are not fans of this comic book series, we're going to try to explain. The Legion of Superheroes is divided into six eras? Yeah, let's say six.
Yeah, six
So,
words.
yeah. So there's the original version, which is a spin-off of Superboy, because in the Silver Age, Superman, okay, in the modern age, Superman usually gets his powers as a teenager, as a puberty thing. In the Silver Age, he got his powers as a little kid and had all kinds of adventures. And then as he became a teenager, they were like, oh, he needs friends his own age and peers to hang out with, but they didn't want to mess up the continuity of Superman being one of the first superheroes of the Silver Age. So they're like, why don't we send him into the future?
Right. And I guess one of the cool things about it is like from the Legion's aspect, this is a historical figure they're going to hang out with before he became a historical figure. It's like going to
Exactly.
hang out with like Jesus as a teenager.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like if you went back in time and met King Arthur back before he drew the sword from the stone. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
So for those early stories, they kind of just fuck with him for fun.
Yeah.
Which in the Silver Age and Golden Age, that was the big thing. So they come back in time and be like, "Yeah, we know your secret identity, Superboy," and he's in plain
Yeah.
clothes. He's like, "What the fuck?" And to them,
Yeah.
it's hilarious because
Uh,
this is all in the past.
They literally bullied him in their first meeting by making him fail the recruitment test. And they're like, nah, we're just messing with you. Come on, you're part of the team.
Which knowing what that Superman was like back then, they definitely learned it from him.
Oh yeah.
So it was a
So
nice little loop of super dickery, if you will.
yeah. Which is weird because usually Clark is the one doing the super dickery. Now he's the victim of it.
Right. It's a nice Ouroboros, if you will.
Yep. So the Legion of Superheroes, of course, we have the founding three. There is Cosmic Boy, Rock Grin,
Right.
whose power is magnetism.
He's also the equivalent of a professional athlete on his home planet.
Yep.
Like, think if LeBron, right out of high school, decided he wanted to, become a superhero.
Yeah. And then there is my boy, Garth Rand's Lightning Lad.
The heart of the team, he's from a planet where everybody has a twin.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big thing. Each Each race has, their own little niche. And then he took a nice camping trip with some lightning beasts, and one of them hit him, and he got lightning powers.
Now, how do 3 little kids being
Oh,
electrocuted somehow give them lightning abilities? That's a great question. Anyway, and then we have Saturn Girl, Imra
Ardeen.
Ardeen. Oh, thank God. Thank you.
No problem.
Hold on. Let me correct myself. Imra Ardeen Rands. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
You go ahead. You explain her deal.
She's from Titan, which if you think of the Titan, I'm thinking of, the Titan. That's one of the moons.
One of the moons. Yep.
And she's a telepath.
Yep.
So you got a telepath, a guy with magnetism powers, and then a guy with electrical powers, all coming together to stop what? The assassination of an Earth billionaire named R.J. Brand.
Which is just such a crazy origin. And they didn't even. And the crazy part is they didn't even like each other at first. Like in most versions of this, they're not friends until after they become the Legion. And then after they become Legion, they're like, I would kill or die for you.
Right. Garth thinks Rock has a stick up his ass.
Yeah.
Emerald thinks Garth is a jerk. Garth thinks Emerald's hot. Emerald thinks Rock has a stick up his ass. It's a very common thing.
To be fair, up until he starts dating Night Girl,
he kind of does.
He does have a stick up his ass.
Yeah, he does. So it's not a wrong read. It's just that's the first read of him.
Yeah. So obviously you can't be a legion of superheroes with 3 members. So they eventually expand into more and more teammates. We have Mon-El, Superman's quote-unquote brother, even though he's actually a Daxamite. It's a long, complicated story because the Silver Age is weird.
But to make it short, he came to Earth. Superboy thought he was his brother. He decided to do a test with some kryptonite. Turns out it was lead that was messing with him. He sent him to the Phantom Zone because he can't find a cure. They find a cure in the 30th, 31st century. And he's kind of like the stand-in when Superboy or Superman is in there.
Yep. We have, for some reason, everyone's boy. I have never met a person who loves Legion of Superheroes who doesn't love this character, despite the fact he's in like a third of the stories. And like he's not even a major character, but everyone loves him. Timberwolf. Bryn Londo.
I mean, he's like a space werewolf.
Yeah.
So at least at that point, that's just a cool idea.
It is. So Bryn's whole thing is his dad was a douchebag scientist who experimented on him with something called Xenian radiation, and that gave Bryn enhanced agility, super strength, enhanced senses, and later on fangs and claws. He didn't have fangs and claws until his first mutation.
Yeah.
Which is just, and then once he got them, everyone was just like, you know what, that actually makes sense.
And also, this reminds you that this is the future because you got names like Rock, Garth, Imra, and Bryn.
Yeah.
Garth is pretty normal, but Imra, Bryn, Rock. And then for Mon-El, you got his real name being Lar. Not Lars, Lar.
Largand, yeah. We are going to say some names during this, and you guys will be like, you have got to be making all these up. But I swear to y'all, all these names are real. Speaking of people who have the most ridiculous names, and since we already brought up Timberwolf, let's talk about the person who had, in my opinion, the funniest love triangle ever during the 3-boot Legion. Tinya Wiseau, Phantom Girl.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Tinya Wiseau from the planet BZTGL.
Don't ask us how to pronounce that. No one knows how to pronounce it. Yeah, we just throw it up on screen and go, this.
Yeah, BZTGL.
So her planet is weird because everyone on her planet can manipulate density, or depending on reboot, they can either all manipulate density or they're all partially tied to the Phantom Zone in some kind of way.
Yeah.
One of the two. It's weird. It happens. So she can phase through stuff.
Gives her name, Phantom Girl.
Yep, because she's intangible. You can't touch her. She's a phantom.
Right. Imagine
And
Kitty Pryde if she had a whole race.
Yep. Then we have Triplicate Girl, later Duo Damsel, because
one of her bodies gets cooked.
Yep. So she has the ability to split into 3 bodies.
Right. Which, just Gar's people having twins, it's kind of just a weird thought.
Yeah. She makes up for it by being one of the best fighters on the team.
Right.
We will get to the team ranking on who has the most hands. We're just trying to introduce as many of these people as possible first.
Right.
But that is actually one of her abilities. She's like, all right, can you fight though?
Times 3.
Yeah. Then we have Reek Daggle. I hope I'm saying that right. Who is Chameleon Boy. You want to take this one?
Yeah, he's a shapeshifter, like the rest of his race, and later versions of the Legion have him have no presentable gender. He's kind of like, they have him looking like an orange Kirby with an antenna.
Imagine if Morph from X-Men had the personality of Beast Boy from Teen Titans, and you have Chameleon Boy.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Also, he is the only good Durlan we've ever seen. I am not racist against Durlans, but they have factually been one of the worst alien species.
They've been pretty grimy.
Yeah,
they've been notoriously grimy.
And then just to prove how cooked Earth is, I'm going to name 4 Earthlings, and you tell me when you hear a normal ass name there. Ready? Gim Alon, Colossal Boy.
Okay, no.
His superpower is growing to gigantic size.
Right.
Lyle Norg, Invisible Kid.
Okay. Lyle is at least that there's at least somebody on the planet named Lyle right now. So.
Yeah. Norg is the part that throws it off.
Yeah, Norg. That lets you know we're in the wrong era.
Thom Kalor, Starboy.
Yeah. I was gonna say Thom, but Kalor.
Yeah. And of course, literally the only black. Well, no, not the only black one, because we have that guy we're gonna have to talk about. Oh God.
We got a few others, but for now we'll just keep Jocks. So that's who you're going with, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kid Quantum, James Cullen. He was introduced in the 90s.
Oh.
He was introduced right before the 5 years later timeline, wasn't he? Before it split into the 2 timelines.
I think so. Well, he kind of was.
Yeah.
And then his sister got introduced after that, right?
Yeah. He was introduced in 1992, and then the 5 years later split happened.
Right.
Yeah.
And then his sister was the one who became more popular, Jasmine.
Oh yeah, she did. Of course, Supergirl was also a member of the team because.
Oh yeah.
Because of course she was.
Right. Because what better place to put your cousin who's a teenager with superpowers than in a gang full of teenagers with superpowers in a time far away from you?
And you think we're joking about calling them a gang, but we will talk about this later on in the episode. Sunboy, Dirk Morgna. Oh my God, that was almost a normal name.
It was close. You switch the N and the A, and it sounds solid.
Yep. There we go. Bouncing Boy, Chuck Kane. I personally believe.
Chuck.
I'm sorry?
Chuck did it. He made his way for us.
Yeah. So Chuck's superpower is super bouncing. He literally inflates himself and bounces everywhere. Like a ball. Which you'd think would not be a useful power, but it is surprisingly useful. If you need me to tell you what Sunboy's power are, I need you to just log off. And I need you to just go stare at a wall for a while. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, his name's Sunboy. What do you want from me?
Right.
Let's see. Who else do we love that we can talk about? We talked about Monel.
Brainiac 5.
Do we talk about Ayla?
Yeah, we can talk about Garth's sister.
So Ayla is Lightning Glass. She got the same powers as her brother, and then for some reason she gained gravity negation powers. I don't remember if that was because of what is it called? The
Why
one big.
her powers changed?
Yeah, I can't remember why her powers changed. Like, because there's like two versions where she became Light Glass. There's one that happened during Genesis, but the original Legion of Superheroes version of her also gained gravity powers too, and I can't remember why.
Shoot, I think it was
It was probably an accident.
Dream Girl. It was from Dream Girl.
Right. When they were experimenting with her powers, and
and then 3-boot and post 0 hour. Post 0 hour when they traveled into the source, which is real crazy if you know DC. That's when she got it. And then 3-boot.
We will talk about. I promise we're not just name dropping these. All of these are going to be important later.
Yeah, it's
Dream Girl is Nura Null. She has precognition. Yes, she is the descendant of Dreamer from Supergirl the animated series.
Yeah,
not Supergirl, from Supergirl the live action series. Yes, it's complicated.
Who is now a canon character?
Who is now a canon character? Yep. Yes, it's complicated. Yes, it's weird.
She's messy. She's messy, just like her ancestor too.
Yes, and her sister is a sorceress.
Yeah, that whole family messy.
Yeah, her sister, White Witch, is a sorceress. That's just a thing. I need you guys to just understand that her sister took the fact that she didn't have precognition. Went, you know what? Fine, I'm just gonna go learn magic.
And it works for her.
It works. And then there is everyone's boy. This is the other character that everyone talks about. Brainiac 5, Quirrell Dox.
The descendant of one of the worst supervillains of the 21st century.
Yep. And he is the direct descendant of Brainiac 1. And for those of you who think... Oh, go ahead.
Probably the smartest moral character in DC. Yeah.
Yeah, he is probably the most... And Quirrell is actually really smart, and he's actually a really nice guy when his brain isn't being messed with. When his brain isn't being messed with, or when his intelligence hasn't like corrupted him to start thinking in outcomes instead of people. Great guy otherwise. I would let him. Well, I wouldn't let him watch my kid, but I would let him tutor my kid.
Right.
Matter Eater Lad, Tenzil Kemp. How do you feel about Matter Eater Lad?
I love him.
I do too.
Like,
this guy's solution to any problem is, can I get my teeth on it?
I think in 5 years later, when he was an actor.
Oh yes,
that's one of my favorite
sunglasses.
Yes, I think that's one of my favorite versions of him.
Yes, Pharaoh Lad, who is the first Legionnaire to die on screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And his superpower is he turns himself into iron.
And originally, he was supposed to be black.
Yeah, he was. But then the DC, who were cowards in the 60s, were like, no, if we make him black, then we'll never sell comics in the South again. I'm like, cowards.
Yeah, and it's very telling that was a thing.
Yeah. And then there is, of course, the third and most famous, infinitely wanked character of the Legion of Superheroes. I'm sorry?
I already know who you're going to say.
Karate Kid, Val Armour.
Yeah.
His superpower is he knows all the martial arts and he can identify weak points.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Aaron and I are big parts of the battle debate community, and Aaron, Can you just confirm to the audience just how bad the wank of Karate Kid is?
People be saying Karate Kid can knock out Superman. He can catch flashes. He can juggle people with Superman level powers. He can KO the Hulk. They're saying he can do this off raw strength, and his whole thing is in raw strength. And even like when you see him fight people in those classes, he doesn't. He says, "Oh shit, this motherfucker's
He'd be like,
built like a brick shit house. I can't knock him out. I'm gonna try to get the fuck out of the way and do some Street Fighter parry shit." And
exactly,
even when he parries them, he's not taking any part of them head on. He is literally sidestepping as fast as he can. So,
exactly,
like, the sword material doesn't treat him like he's unbeatable, but they do give him like shenanigans, and people take those shenanigans and say he's just as strong, and it's like, no, no, he's not.
All right. While we're speaking on Karate Kid, his wife, Princess Projector, yes, wife. Well, the Legion do actually get to grow up and get married. It's one of their things.
Right.
They actually age. Like everyone else is still stuck in the same five years of time, give or take. The Legion are like, no, we're grown ass men and women now.
Right. Superman be coming back, and they be as old as him.
Yep. Shadow Lass, Tasmia Malore, Monel's wife.
Right. With her shadow
Whose
powers.
superpower? Again, her superpower is very evident in the name, Shadow Lass. She controls darkness and shadows.
Right.
Chemical King, Kondo Arlic from a plant called Flan. I don't know where that is. Don't ask me where that is.
But
his power was controlling chemical reactions. So that's the
yes,
original Legion. We will get to other versions of the Legion later, but that was the original team.
he didn't live long.
No, he did not. But we can use him as an example of one of the most important rules of the Legion of Superheroes. The Legion of Superheroes doesn't kill. We forgot Ultra Boy.
Oh yeah.
Jonah. His superpower is he has all the powers of Kryptonian or Taxamite, but one at a time.
And also, he got his powers from being swallowed by a space whale.
Get it? Jonah.
Yeah. He's also, I feel like you said this before to me in passing, but like Han Solo of the Legion.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Jonah's big problem has always been in every version of the Legion. He does want to be the cool solo lone guy. He also wants to work with a team, but he also has an ego the size of a planet.
Because when you name yourself Ultra Boy, you kind of, when you name yourself Ultra Boy, that's kind of expected.
Yeah, true. So like, it's just like he's just like that. So we will get to some of the other later members like Wildfire and Tyrock. Actually, no. Let's do that right now because we gotta set all these people up so we can get to some of their big story arcs. So Tyrock, Drake Burroughs, his superpower is he's made of was it antimatter or anti-energy?
I think it was anti-energy.
Anti-energy, which is the energy version of antimatter. I know that doesn't make sense. Shut up. I know. I didn't ask. It was the 70s.
Isn't his whole thing he screams, and his screams got different uses?
Oh god, Tyrock, yes.
And yeah.
So, fortunately, Tyrock's real name is Troy Stewart, because thank God no one actually named their kid Tyrock.
That still gets me though. Like, why Tyrock?
I don't.
Everybody else got these names that allude to their powers. He got Tyrock. He not even
It's
like
not even a word. Like I was Googling it to try to see if it was like a word in like Swahili or an African language. No, they just made this up.
Right. It's like you couldn't call him like Shout Lad, Screamo, Sonic Boy, you know?
Literally anything.
But those screams is kind of ignorant too.
Also, Tyrock is bar none the worst black character of all time. There's a
That
reason for this.
origin. That origin.
That origin, yep. His origin was literally created because they wanted to have a black member of the Legion of Superheroes. And while Jim Shooter was just Jim Shooter, I think.
It was Mike Grell
Thank you, I appreciate you.
and Carrie Bates. Carrie Bates and
Yeah.
Mike Grell.
So they originally wanted just like, why don't we just have Pharaoh Lad be black and no one cares or notices when he takes the helmet off. And then
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Jim Shooter didn't like the idea of Tyrod.
Yes, no one liked the idea of Tyrod because for one, it is incredibly racist. For two, it is literally a separatist fantasy. Okay.
Right.
You want to take it because if I take it, I'm going to rant.
Yeah. So Jim Shooter was like, him and Mike Grell had tried to introduce black characters, and their editor at the time, a guy named Murray Boltonoff. They kept getting stalled off, and then finally came Tyrod, and Grell's like, shit, might as well name him Tyrone.
Which is true. That is the most racist name ever.
And then his editor's explanation for why there were no black people in Legion was that all the black people had to go on to live on an island, which also compounds it when you remember the Legion has people from other fucking planets. Like, those planets could have black people too. Like, come on now. Everybody, this is the 31st century. Realistically, there should be little to no white people. I'm just saying. But like, the fact that, it was black people on an island that was out of sync with the rest of the universe, you just separated all the black people and that's where they went. When you got a white guy saying that's the most racist shit he's ever heard in his life, that's when you know it's wild.
Oh yeah. So this channel is many things, but it is also a Tyrock hate channel.
Like,
Dawnstar, who is one of the first Native American heroes in DC, and yes, we're going to count her as Native American because the people of Starhaven were from Earth, were Earth indigenous people who got trapped on another planet and grew wings.
Yeah, it reminds you of the era this was made, and it's like, yeah, that was what y'all came up with.
Her powers are interstellar tracking and flight, which you probably should guess from the fact that she has wings.
Right.
Invisible Kid 2, Jacques Faucart, who is my favorite black member of the Legion of Superheroes.
Fair.
Because, like, unlike everyone else who's like, oh, I have to be black to make a statement, Jacques Faucart is just a black French guy.
Right.
That's it.
He is very French.
Very French. Like, you will not, like, the fact that he's black is secondary to the fact that he is so very French.
I don't know how many soccer blues or Monsieur. They even have him counted in French. Un, deux, trois. Like, okay, we get it. He's French. In space. Okay.
Very French. Sunboy's best friend, Breck Bannon, Polar Boy. Whose power is cold manipulation.
And he's a leader of the Legion of Substitute Heroes, the guys who are the B team.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite make it.
Yeah, the guys. The only reason why Polar Boy made it is because he managed to learn how to control his powers better. And the main Legion was like, all right, you can come on up.
And he was made based off a reader suggestion.
Yep. Block, whose real name is Block. Okay, so to explain Block, he is imagine if the Thing had no sense of humor or personality. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying that as a starting point. He gets better after he joins the Legion, but like,
right.
And that's his power. He's made of magic stone. What do you want from me?
He's from a place called Dryad in the peaceful rock-like people.
Yeah.
But they are dumb strong.
Yeah. All right, so that's the Legion. And this is the original. So that's the original Legion, the original members. So this is the original team, and we get some of the best Legion writing here. We get the death of Lightning Lad, which, again, it's very much what it says on the title. in the
Yeah.
title. Lightning Lad dies fighting off an army, and the Legion's like, "Hey, we have two ways of dealing with this. We can either process this like normal human beings, or we can try to bring him back with with magical super science." Do you know which one they
Right.
chose?
Magical super science.
Yes.
As they should have. This is
Yes.
31st century.
It's the 31st century. We don't have to. We don't have to respect the laws of life and death. Who do you think
Yes.
we are?
This is DC Comics. We don't die around here. We multiply. One of the
Which brings
first
us to what?
examples of that.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's one of the first examples of that.
Oh yeah. So the death of Lightning Lad is like one of the first big oh god heroes can die moments, and it also teaches us one thing about the Legion: they do not handle death well. They
No.
only have two ways of dealing with death. They either get very, very depressed, or they go into a murderous rampage. Those are your
Which
choices.
that's fair.
When Computo killed one of Triplicate Girl's bodies,
That's one.
yep, they literally swore an oath to kill Computo, and then when someone was like, "Wait, but I thought we were the Legion Super, I thought we don't kill," they're like, "No, he's a computer, so it's fine."
Right. The infamous loophole.
Exactly. There is when oh my god, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the one storyline that really made Darkseid the DC's greatest villain?
The Great Darkness Saga.
The Great Darkness Saga.
Yeah. That's kind of the peak. That
It
is
really is. Like
outside of
Dark,
like the original run of stuff for like the
yeah,
fourth world. That's probably one of the best works for him.
it really is. Like so, the Great Darkness Saga is a storyline in which the Master of Darkness shows up, awakened from 1,000 years of slumber, and goes, "Huh, I'm weaker than I used to be. I should try to take over the universe." And then he does.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like freaking out, like, who is this great master who keeps absorbing magical stuff and beating us up? And why do the servants keep kicking our teeth in? And then the big reveal, well, it's not a reveal anymore because, it's been 50 years. But big reveal then was that the Master of Darkness was Darkseid.
Right.
And then he took over Daxam, which is a planet of Superman level beings.
They're like the cousins of Krypton.
Yep.
Same powers, different weakness. And it was what, 6 billion?
Yeah, 3 billion. 3 billion.
Okay, 3 billion Superman level folks in his army.
Yep. And here's the crazy part. The Legion was not winning this fight. Like, they spent the entire storyline on the back foot.
Yeah. Everywhere they went, they was getting bum rush. Bonnell saw Darkseid. He got put into a coma damn near.
Yep. Darkseid literally one-shot Mon-El. And then all this stuff's happening. The Legion's like, what do we do? What do we do? Literally, the only reason why they survived the final fight is because Highfather comes back, heals them, amps Superboy and Supergirl.
Right.
And they don't even win that fight.
And they put up a better showing, but still lose.
Yeah, basically the only reason why the universe exists right now is because Darkseid wasted so much time beating on the Legion and Superboy and Supergirl that he was like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something crap, the Daxamites. Oh, yeah, they're mad.
Right.
I don't have enough energy to fight you guys and 3 billion Daxamites, so you guys win. Bye. He just left.
Yeah. He just dipped and said, I'm going to go take a night slumber and come back later.
Like, the man did not lose. He just decided this is no longer worth my time, and I have the possibility of losing because he did not say I will lose to 3 billion Daxamites plus the Legion. He said I might lose. And I was like,
There's a chance.
mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna go. And then
No.
we get to the magic, but that leads to the day after Doomsday, which is such a great moment for romance and character development, as it shows all the Legion healing and dealing with the end of the Great Darkness saga, and it
Yeah.
finally tells us what Validus was, because it turns out. Aaron, tag out. I cannot explain this plan without laughing. Tag out.
Wait, you talking about the magic word? No,
No,
it's
before we get to the Magic Wars, I'm talking about Darkseid's petty plan for revenge on the Legion
with the baby.
with the baby. Yes.
So he left the parting gift for the Legion. At this time, Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad were married, and they had twins. And he took one of the twins, right?
Yep.
And he made that twin into one of their worst fucking enemies, Validus. Now,
Yep. And then
Validus is a giant purple and white thing with a top where you can see his brand. And Validus is so strong that he punches people through planets. It's like if the Hulk, he's like if the Hulk also had telepathic brain bolts. It's terrifying.
oh yeah, he is not fun. And then we find out that that's your kid. I sent your kid back in time 20 years so he'd be one of your greatest one of your greatest foes. Why?
So they've been beating the shit out of their own child.
Why? I don't know. I'm Darkseid. I do things sometimes.
Spiteful. He was being spiteful. Is one way I look at it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. All right. The Magic Wars is probably one of both the greatest and saddest moments because while we've seen Legionnaires die before, we have never ever seen Cosmic Boy lose his goddamn mind the way he lost his mind in this show in this series.
Yeah. It's the
So the
first
Magic Wars is when
it's
this
the first
great
real war they've had too, yeah.
yeah, it's the first real war. Like all their other wars have mostly been scuffles and like battles. This was the first time they actually had to sit down and survive an entire siege.
Yeah. So that's a
Against the
lot.
Archmage, who was the embodiment of all evil magic.
So that's a lot, especially considering everything they go through.
Oh yeah. And it ends with Cosmic Boy's younger brother, Paul Kryn,
Mhm.
Magnetic Kid, sacrificing himself to undo the Archmage's lock on the planet. And Rock does not take the death of his brother in a sane, rational way. Remember how we said that the Legion has a no-kill rule? Like, even when their friend Chemical King died, they still mostly planned to bring the guy in who killed him. Like, they
Right.
were unsure if they would be able to do it or kill him, but they at least made the attempt, you know?
Yeah.
When Magnetic Kid died, the first thing Rock did was slam a spaceship into the Archmage, and then start strangling him with magnetism, and while screaming, "You killed my brother! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!"
I mean, it all kind of worked out because then the Archmage was like, I'll destroy this planet. All of you for turning on me, and didn't realize his life force was tied to the planet until
Yep.
it happened. So,
Whoops.
well, I can feel Rock because, somebody killed my brother in front of me. I'm probably about to go off too.
Yeah, I completely valid crash out.
Right.
We're not saying he was wrong for the crash out. We're saying,
We needed to take orders from you, and right now you just strangling this motherfucker, and we don't know what to do. Help.
exactly. So that was the original Legion. So after a lot of complicated events, the original Legion gets split into two timelines: the 5 years later timeline and the Batch SW6 timeline, which is Adult
Clones.
Legion. versus Teenage Legion.
Yeah, clones versus adults.
Yeah. That's a very long, complicated story. We're not going to get into it. In fact, we're just going to kind of speed run that one. So 5 years later is very much the darker and edgier Legion, where they try to get into more of the darker, brooding stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a. While the ideas are good, I'm not a really big fan of it because a lot of it's just weird. Like they have a thing where they turn Timberwolf into Furball.
Oh yeah, fair. That is a bit odd, but I do think but 5 years later it does have a lot of great merit because it shows like the Legion dealing with the after effects of that war and the fallout. Like Keith Giffen spearheading that made it really fun. And he's
Oh
also
yeah,
one of the first people to do something that Jonathan Hickman started doing years later. Data pages.
oh yeah.
So it gave us a lot of that. And it also gave us Andromeda, who
Who is
replaces
amazing.
Supergirl.
We love Andromeda.
She replaces Supergirl in this origin as a Daxamite.
Yeah. And unlike our boy Largant, who is perfect and can do no wrong,
She was
Laurel,
flawed.
yeah. Okay, so to explain, Daxamites are the most racist, xenophobic motherfuckers in the galaxy.
Yeah,
And Laurel originally starts off like this and slowly gets better.
right.
Uh,
And 5 years later, she's not as bad. She just kind of like naively believes that,
mhm.
I shouldn't be around these people. After that, though, she's a full on terrorist, Daxamite
Yeah,
supremacist who starts to redeem herself.
yeah. And one of the best storylines. One really good story. And then the Batch SW6 timeline is just Legion doing Teenage Legion things. They're the ones having crossovers with the Connor Kent Superboy. They're the ones showing up in storylines we need the Teenage Legion. DC tried to
Right.
have its cake and eat it too, is what we're saying.
Yeah. We'll probably get to the issue with that. Or should we
Yeah,
go into we'll get into the post crisis, pre crisis issue with that later.
yeah. So, and then Zero Hour happens, and during Zero Hour, the Time Trapper fuses those two timelines back together and then reboots the Legion because Parallax decided to mess with time, and that was the whole thing.
Isn't that when he tried to use Monel's body to survive?
Yes, which
And
leads to one, which
that's
leads
one
to
of the
one of the.
hardest
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
where he tells Monel, if you kill me, then you die too. And Monel's like, I hate you, nigga, let's die.
Exactly.
And the panel just fades to white. And then we get the new universe.
Yep. It
So
is
that's
one
probably
of the hardest things ever, and we will talk about Time Trapper when we get to the villains, but trust me, fighting Time Trapper is just always awesome.
but
I
that's
mean, not for the
probably one
Legion;
of
they
my
probably hate
favorite
fighting him, but
that's probably one of my favorite Legion moments just because Monel's whole thing building up to that moment was the fact he got his body back and he felt it was wrong. And
yep,
he learned that the time trapper is using him and he could just live out his life in that universe peacefully, but let the time trapper rule. And he said no. That time trapper said, if you kill me, I'll die. If you kill me, we both die. And he's like, I'd rather be dead than, be a puppet. So props for that.
also, that is the origin of the hardest line Monel has ever spoke in his life or in any comic book ever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Time Trapper. In 1,000 years, I've never hated a foe. I've saved all my hatred for you.
And that's a lot of hatred.
I'm sorry. That's the hardest line I've ever heard in my
No,
life.
nah, that's fair because I feel like every time they fought a few times, I feel like every time he
Yeah.
sees the time trapper, he sees red
Yeah.
because
All right.
he's
So
like
then
you
we
have
get
all this
the
power and this is what you do.
Yeah. I hate. He really does hate the time traveler. Like, you are the living embodiment of time. Why are you messing with us?
Right.
You said it yourself. You've already won at the end of the time. Why are you here?
Didn't he throw his ass into a sun and then threw like a
Yes.
moon into the sun
Yes. He
or
threw
shit
it
like
into the
that?
sun, threw a moon after him. Time traveler's like, I'm still alive. I'm trying to fix that.
But I also think another hard line is the only thing that matters now is what won't survive if I let you live.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, he about to do it. He about to kill
Yeah.
this man.
It is wild. All right. So then we have the post-zero hour Legion, also known as the reboot Legion. This is the one. This is the one I was talking about. This is the reboot Legion, which lasted from 1994 to 2001. I want to say.
I think to like '04.
Yeah, 2004. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Titans Legion special.
Yeah.
So it is the second longest lasting Legion run. This
Surprising.
one is a little bit is the reboot Legion. A lot of you guys might know of it. It's similar to the original, but again, it's very 90s. It has the whole darker and edgier thing. And
But
I'm
it
not saying
also
that's a bad
has
thing. Oh, go ahead.
but it also has probably some of the best writing
Oh my god,
and a lot of
yes.
stuff modernized.
Yes.
And it also gave me one of, surprisingly, what I think is one of the best Ra's al Ghul storylines ever.
Which is a rare sentence because Ra's al Ghul would just be doing stuff.
Him is like a 21st, a 31st century like Hannibal Lecter
Yes.
is pretty great. The fact they had him take over as president of Earth
Yep.
and nobody really knew because it's been so long since he's been seen was great.
Yeah. Um this is the Legion that Superboy Connor Kent, my favorite Superboy, was a member of for a while. This is also the one that switched out the Legion's catchphrase from "Long live the Legion" to "Let's go Legion,"
Right.
which I don't hate anymore. Like when I first read it, I hated it, but it grew on me because it kind of fits. It's like "Let's go
Right.
Legion."
I'm like, yeah,
You're still
definitely.
getting jumped. Don't worry. You are
Right.
still getting jumped.
Because the Legion living after this, you might not.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you probably live, but it's not going to be a fun type of living. It's going to be a colostomy bag type of living.
Yeah. It's also the Legion that introduced CC Beck, who is the apprentice of Captain Marvel.
That was a fun because well, we said we are going to touch time travel, but technically she's another time traveler.
Yeah, she's from even further in the future. She's from the 90th century.
Yeah. The
Because time is
850,
fake.
the 853rd.
Yeah. Because time is fake.
Oh, wait, 90th century, yeah. But yeah, time
Yeah.
is.
Time is
She,
fake, okay? Like just accept that time is fake.
she was definitely a fun character there.
Yeah. So the reboot Legion doesn't have has like a lot of really fun stories. This one really does. Oh my god! The progenitor arc. The progenitor arc
Oh,
with
okay. Yeah.
yeah with Element Lad. Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yeah. Legion Lost.
Yes.
Yeah. Legion
So,
Lost. There's a Legion Lost in another universe, and
and they slowly realize that they know the big bad, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you're our friend. You're a boy." He's like, "I will kill all of you." They're like, "No, you won't. You're a boy." Oh my god, he killed Monstrous.
right.
That's
He's like I am Element Lad,
yeah, exactly.
and it leads to Lightning Lad sacrificing himself again.
Because if there's two things that's going to happen, if there are three things that are going to happen in Legion of Superheroes, it's a Legionnaire will die epically. Like no Legionnaire has ever died in a punk way. They always, if a Legionnaire dies, they die in the most awesome way possible. Two, they're going to jump you. we don't know how many times we were going to say this in the session, but they are going to jump you.
And
This is
a
happening.
lot of times they need to because they be fighting some very, 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 very strong foes.
They do. They fight
And
two different embodiments of time.
right, you got to fight the time trap for the embodiment of time, and that's not going to be a one-on-one fight ever.
No.
No
And then you
matter
have to fight. Then you have to fight the Infinite Man, who is the other embodiment of time.
right, and then you got to fight Mordru, who's
A Lord
got
of
every
Chaos.
a Lord of
Yeah.
Chaos and got every sorcerer's power in the book, and there's no Dr. Fate around in 31st century. See, y'all shit out of luck.
And
Then
then
you
you
got
have,
to
fight one of their B tier villains is Pulsar Stargrave, who may or may not be Brainiac, or might just be a random Kaluan who's a Brainiac fanboy. Either way, he has the power of an exploding pulsar,
which is insane.
And
the
this is like,
fact that he's a
what?
B tier, the fact that
The
he's
fact
B
he's
tier
B
with this.
tier. This leads to one of the best moments in Legion, where first we get two of the most famous arcs for Lightning Lad. One, the metal arm arc.
Yeah.
When he loses his original arm and he gets the metal one.
Yep.
And two, the Lightning Lad in Element Lad's body arc.
Yeah.
Classic.
Which is around where I started.
Yep. Classic story. Really good. But that one also did not last. And this one didn't even reboot because of a DC crisis. They got rebooted during a crossover with Teen Titans.
It was kind of, I guess it was kind of the lead-in.
Yeah, it was kind of leading into Infinite Crisis, I guess.
Yeah, because like an arc or two after that, we got the whole Dr. Light thing. And then after that, Infinite Crisis happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But so basically the reason why this one got rebooted is because the Legion and Superboy, Connor Kent, not Clark Kent. We will specify which Superboy we're talking about. The Legion and Superboy got into a fight with their villains, the Fatal Five, and then someone gave. Go ahead.
So the Fatal Five were 5 different villains naturally. Emerald Empress, she had the Eye of Ekron, the eye of a really giant creature that gave out magic energy. You also have Tharok, the cyborg.
Yep.
Who's like our cyborg, but if he was a homicidal maniac.
Yeah.
You got Mano, who has an antimatter touch, and he showed that by blowing up his planet. He put his hands to the ground and said, boom, shakalaka.
Yeah.
You got Validus, the strongest baby in the world.
Yep, we've mentioned Validus before.
And last but not least, you got the Persuader, who's a big, strong nigga with an axe that can cut through anything. And it wasn't until Jeff Johns did Teen Titans where Persuader says, wait, I can cut through anything. He cuts into other timelines. So the Fatal 5 becomes Fatal 10, 20, 40, 80, 500.
Yep. So the Legion recruits the Teen Titans like, hey, we don't like being on this side of the jumping. Can y'all help us?
And they were like, yeah, sure. And how many? They're like, oh, it's just, 20, 25 versus 500. And they're like, what?
And this is the 2003 era Teen Titans, so this is like a pretty good team. This is Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Superboy, the Cassie Sanmark Wonder Girl, the Bart Allen Kid Flash,
Cyborg.
I'm
like, yeah, they had a solid team, but still, that's a lot of villains.
Yep, and they basically win when they finally smash the Persuader's axe, and then they're like, "Hey, you smashed Persuader's axe while we were in the time stream, so this is probably going to screw us over, like us, the Legion of Superheroes. We have no idea what our future is going to look like now." And Titans were like, are you going to be okay? And they'll be like, long live the Legion. Which I love that because, like, oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I love that because they're like, long live Legion is like, the fuck? Hell yeah, we're gonna be okay. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no matter what happens, even if they're facing certain death, they just have that catchphrase. Like, it's the phrase they say before they beat the snot out of you, but it's also the phrase they say before certain death or when despair hits. They're like, no, we're the Legion of Superheroes. We ain't afraid of nothing. Long live the Legion.
I'm like, and then it turns out he was right. They do show up again.
Yep.
And I was like, somebody out there likes my team.
Yep. And then, which brings us to the 3-boot Legion, which is the Kara which is the Kara Zor-El Supergirls Legion.
Right.
So after Kara Zor-El is brought back into continuity in Batman and Superman, and then Infinite Crisis happens. God, DC continuity is weird. Anyway, she had well, as we know, there's an unwritten rule in DC that every version of the Legion of Superheroes has to cross over with or have on their team at least one member of the Superman family.
Yep.
I don't think that's an official rule. I don't think it's actually written down somewhere. I think that's just like something that they say has to happen. Like, it's the Legion. You have to. Mm-hmm. So since Connor had already been part of the Legion, you couldn't use Connor again. And then they're like, hey, are we doing anything with Kara? We're having her being lost and angry and missing Krypton. Let's take her to the 31st century.
There you go. A very nice detour.
Yep. And that's where we get the Teenage Rebellion version of the Legion of Superheroes, where apparently the future is like, all adults suck. Society is stagnant all over the galaxy. How does the entire galaxy become stagnant? I don't understand how every single culture in the galaxy stops progressing at the same time.
And then I think the cool thing about it is we find out later this was like the Legion of Another Earth.
Yep.
Because one thing that always tripped me out when I read this version of Legion was they were reading comic books.
Yep.
About characters from the past. And at first they were like, oh, it's just stories of the past. And then they're like, no, it turns out they're from the same Legion as Superboy Prime, aka I'll kill you dead.
Yep. Which thankfully brings us to my next point. So the 3-boot Legion, very popular for its time, but as things go, people who grew up on the original Legion wanted the original Legion back. And then when they became in charge of DC, Jeff Johns. And then when they became in charge of DC, they started the Retro Boot. So the Retro Boot is an unofficial nickname for this version of the Legion. This version of the Legion is the original Legion from pre-Crisis.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you're like, wait, but I thought Superman had never been Superboy in post-Crisis. How could he be a member of the Legion of Superheroes? That is a great question.
At this point, they kind of just started giving up. They just kind of just started saying, yeah, he was getting there.
Yeah,
and this was a few years before.
The powers came in when he was 15. They were very scattershot, so he didn't always have them. But when he did have them, he would go on adventures with the Legion of Superheroes.
This was after Smallville had been a success, and DC was like, yeah, I guess people are accepting of the idea. Now, mind you, in this day and age, we got a full-on Superboy, Clark Kent Superboy going. Yep. So everything is cyclical and comes back.
Yep. At least Super Baby and 9-year-old Superboy never came back. They always keep him around, his powers coming in around 15 or 16, which I feel works better. Because Super Baby was stupid, Super Toddler was stupid, and 9-year-old Superboy is stupid.
But I do like Superboy as that teenager because it helps shape the man he's going to be. And I think it works.
Yeah, I do agree.
It's him coming to terms with certain things about himself in that young age and gives us some more self-assured but still kind of neurotic Clark Kent, because who with the figure identity is neurotic a bit.
Which brings me to my point about the Retro Boot. The Retro Boot is great because, one, it has one of my favorite storylines, Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, where Superman goes to help save the future.
Yeah, no, that was That was a valid. That's probably the best of that era.
Yeah, and the themes and morals of it are ironically probably stronger now than they were then, for obvious
Oh yeah,
reasons. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go read it.
it
And
gave us,
that brings us to Final Crisis: Legion of Three Worlds.
which was, it's not as good as Superman Legion of Superheroes, but it
No, no,
has its
no.
charms.
Yeah, it does. Basically, Final Crisis: Legion of Three Worlds brings Connor Kent back from the dead. Woo, our boy.
Brings, yep, brings Kid
Brings
Flash back from the dead.
brings Kid Flash back from the dead. Woo, our boy. And unites the original / retro boot Legion with the reboot Legion and the 3-boot Legion to do what they do best.
Jump people.
Jump the Legion of Supervillains.
Yep.
Including Prime and Prime Trapper, who is Superboy Prime with the powers of the Time Trapper.
Right.
It was great. Like the story. If you're looking for a deep introspective story like Superman and the Legion of Superheroes, no, this isn't that. This is comic book cheesecake.
Yeah.
You do
It's
not
just,
you do not read the story for a deep introspective look at how the future can be shaped by the past. You read this book to watch Connor punch Superboy Prime in the face repeatedly.
as payback.
Assisting getting him killed. Yeah. And as wonderful as the retro boot was, it also has Earthman, and I hate Earthman, and I hate Earthman's
Inclusion in there.
yeah, I hate him. Like, I know the entire point is that even a virulent racist can make good and be better, but I don't care.
Yeah. It always felt like, oh, why is he here? Because it wasn't
Yeah.
really like the best writing, but I
Like,
got the point of it because he, like the rest of his Justice League of that time, they were Legion superhero rejects, but they were rejects for very valid reasons.
yeah. Like Radiation Roy, whose power is stupid.
But also because he was a psycho.
Yeah, he was a psychopath whose power was, I can emit radiation. Are you immune to cancer?
Right. There was
And,
Storm Boy who surgically altered himself because he wanted to be a Legionnaire.
yep.
And
Weave, whose power was she had prehensile hair.
Dirk was a fucking xenophobe who tried to change history
Yep.
because
Anyway,
he didn't like
we
the
don't stand any of them. They're the worst. We're still very angry about Earthman's inclusion in the Legion as part of his redemption. Redeeming these hands. And when he died, his big heroic sacrifice, because even if we hate him, he's a member of the Legion. He has to have the big heroic sacrifice.
It was like, get him out of there. Thank
He was
you.
like, okay. No. I hear you. Yeah. Very sad. I'm glad he saved the day. Okay, is he dead? All right, can we move on? And one of the best parts about this was Karate Kid died again. That's not a good part, but it really showed Princess Projectra dealing with his death and hinting that he would come back. And they built up all these storylines that were going to be used. And then Flashpoint happened.
Oh yeah. And Flashpoint happened. New 52 Legion, we get thrown a lot of bones about where people are, and then we don't really get anything except for like that Justice League United bit where they meet the modern Justice League, where they meet a
That one was halfway solid, and then like the Legion of Superheroes that came out of New 52 at first pretended to be the retro boot, but little contradictions kept showing up, and they're like, "Oh, actually, this was never the retro boot. This was actually a different version of the Legion set in the New 52 Earth 2."
And it was like, what? Okay.
What? Why?
Right.
What's
And
the
there was
point of this?
also Grant Morrison's Action Comics having a Legion. And that's part of where they first learned. Like, oh yeah, this is them. And it's like, no, it's not. And then
it was pretty bad, but it wasn't the worst Legion we've ever seen.
right, it would just kind
All right,
of
let's talk about the worst
it would
Legion
just
we've ever
kind of
seen.
half-assed.
Yeah, it was just kind of it was just very much no one was communicating with anyone.
Right.
But we'll talk about the worst Legion we've ever seen, which is too bad because it had a lot of really good ideas. The Legion has always been pretty good at representation, like Lightning Glass and Shrinking Violet becoming a lesbian couple in the
Excess
reboot,
and Kid Quantum.
and Kid Quantum, great. All that's true. But then we get to the Bendis boot, which had ideas for representation and
But
fumbled each and every one of them.
it also just kind of like never got off the ground, really. Like he did
Yeah,
stuff with it, but nobody else really was like, I'm touching that shit.
yeah. Like maybe if other people expanded on his ideas, because that's one of the things about Brian Michael Bendis. He has ideas, but he doesn't execute them well, and needs other people to execute them better.
Right.
And maybe his Bendis boot Legion would have been better if that happened, but it didn't. So the Bendis boot is a reboot of the Legion of Superheroes centered around Jonathan Kent, Superboy, instead of Clark Kent.
Which was kind of fun.
That was fun. But
And
one of the
also,
issues,
don't forget, Bendis has John, and his dad setting the seeds for the United Planets, which is what the Legion has in the future.
Yep. Which is really cool, and I actually did like that idea. But one of the problems of that Legion is like with Clark and Connor and Kara, there's this sense of, yeah, you are this super important person to history, but you're also our boy, you're also our girl. We like hanging out with you. It's not hero worship. It's like, oh hey, yeah, my friend happens to be famous.
Right. My friend, his friend has to be one of the greatest people in history. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. With the Bendis boot and with John, the fame and John's fame and his legacy of history is front and center. It's not just, oh, one of the cool things about my friend. It is literally the reason why we're hanging out with you.
Right.
It is, which colors the it colors the relationship, especially when you find out that Saturn Girl was subconsciously manipulating John's mind to like her back. I'm like, did no one tell Bendis that is incredibly creepy?
Yeah. Okay. I forgot about that, and thank you for reminding me of it because.
Yeah, no. Not a single person in the editing department went, Brian, we're not writing that.
You could have at least said, I was gonna say, you figure somebody like Emmer would know a thing or two about boundaries.
Right?
For people who are not from Titan. But oof. And
Yeah.
here I was just annoyed about what they did to Monel.
Oh god, when they made him a descendant of Superman and being all not a descendant of Superman, a descendant of Zod and being all angry about
Yeah.
all angry and angsty.
Yeah. It was like, why? You know?
Also, oh my god, I don't know if this was accidental racism, but they made Lightning Lad and Lightning Lass black, but instead of making them just happen to be black, they explicitly made them poor in a rundown apartment, and
Yeah, that was, I mean, we never thought, Garth and them was like rich, but still, damn.
like that was pretty messed up.
Yeah, I never, you didn't have to do all that, Bendis.
Yeah, that was way too much. Also,
Didn't they
that
tell me?
weird thing with Karate Kid where they gave him like a Manchurian braid and Chinese clothes, and I'm like, Val's Japanese and white. Why are
Yeah.
you giving him Chinese gear?
They just said, fuck it, he's Asian.
Exactly.
They said he's some kind of Asian, just throwing in some Asian shit.
Yeah. it's like for every step forward that they did with a good idea about furthering representation, they did it in the most stereotypical way. So instead of gaining points, they lost points.
It was very flat and there could have been more done there.
I did like Gold Lantern. I'm still not sure what emotion he's supposed to represent. I think I can't remember what it was. I don't remember if they ever actually said it out loud.
Not necessarily.
But I like the idea of the Guardians of the Universe finally realizing, hey, we're too reactive and we kind of screw everything up. We should have a proactive hero who goes around inspiring instead of just having a police force.
Right. But no, Gold Lantern, he probably had the coolest idea. In all honesty.
It was joy and happiness. That is what he's powered by.
Right. He was a good dude. And he was probably the best part of that Legion.
Yeah, like he was in fact the best part of that Legion. And I think he's one of the first Asian Green Lanterns. Like obviously we have the one from Jade Dragon, but I think
he's one of the first like main canon.
Yeah, of the main canon, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, and we appreciate the attempt. Like, we're not trying to say the Bendis boot was all bad. We're just saying it is. When you have like 4 top tiers and 1 mid tiers, you being bottom mid is going to stand out.
There was a lot left on the table.
Oh yeah. And currently in DC, we have 2 legions. We have the Classic Legion, who are somewhere, and we have the Absolute Legion, who are from the Absolute Universe.
And they are not good people.
They are not good people.
In a funny twist, they worship Darkseid.
Yeah. Because they're from a universe where Darkseid took over everything.
Right.
But they do have one redeeming quality. Imra loves Garth.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say the costumes, because the costumes are pretty sick.
Oh no, the costumes were dope.
If Darkseid knows how to do one thing, it's how to, put people in gear, because goddamn.
Yeah. Say whatever you want about Darkseid, he be having himself and his minions be fresh.
Right. All them designs and shit. But that's Legion as it is now, and then I think eventually we're gonna get a new Legion book coming.
Yeah. We don't know which version of the Legion it is. We don't know if it's gonna be a new version. We don't know if it's gonna be one of the original versions. We have no idea.
Right.
One of the things that's interesting about the Legion is Legionnaires die a lot.
A lot.
Because they're set in the future, they don't have status quo as God. So they can change their status quo whenever they want.
Right.
Sometimes that means Legionnaires be getting killed.
Right. Your boy might die.
Yeah.
I was like
go ahead.
I was like, yeah, your favorite might die. My favorite has died.
Yeah.
Bonnell died the most badass way he could, but he still died. And yeah, but thankfully, every time your favorite Legionnaire dies, they go out like a badass. Even Karate Kid.
Yeah. Like we said, Karate Kid's first death was him getting the shit kicked out of him by Nemesis Lad, knocking him out, grabbing a jetpack and launching himself into a planet-destroying device.
Yep. He's like, you may whoop my ass, but I'm gonna still save the day.
Yep. Chemical Feral Lad, of course, classic story. Blew himself and a giant sun eater up.
Right. A sun eater, which, as the name suggests, it eats suns.
Yep.
That's right. There's giant things in space that eat suns in DC Comics.
Magnet Kid, as I said before, sacrificed himself to unseal the planet so the Legion could stop the Archmage.
Right. A giant magical beast.
Yep. You want to talk about your favorite one? The one with the star-sized ship with Livewire?
Oh, are you talking about when he sacrificed himself
Yep.
in Legion LOSH? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Go
that's
ahead.
my favorite. That's probably my favorite one when he sacrificed himself in Legion LOSH.
Yeah.
That one stuck with
But
me.
man, go ahead.
That one stuck with me because like the build up near the end is you think everybody's going home, you kind of have to leave Element Lad there, and then you see that happening, and Garth with no hesitation jumps in and sacrifices himself for everybody. No
And
questions
then,
about it. No nothing. Just yeah, I got this. And they're
yep.
like, "What do you got yourself?" It's like long live the Legion, aka you only live once.
Yep. So let's talk about some of their villains. Like, let's round this off by talking about some of their villains, because the Legion has some of the most insane villains of all time.
Should we start with Time Trapper?
Let's start with Time Trapper.
Okay, the embodiment of time. In some instances, he's made the Legion
Yep.
or given them a reason to exist.
Yep.
In some instances, he's antagonized the Legion just because he feels like they could change the future.
Yep.
But at his core, he's the embodiment of time, and they literally fight against him with everything they have.
Yeah. He's the embodiment of time and entropy.
And what makes it worse is you don't even know what he really looks like, because sometimes he might look like Cosmic Boy.
Yeah.
Sometimes he might look like Superboy Prime. Sometimes he might not even have a fucking face.
Yep. The problem
But
is, because he's the embodiment of time and entropy, anyone who lives and is the last man or woman standing at the end of time will become the new host of the Time Trapper.
right. So even if you win, he's coming back.
Yep.
But they don't care because they're like, fuck you, we still gonna drop you for messing with
Yeah,
us.
they're like, okay, run them hands. Run them things. Next is the other embodiment of time, the Infinite Man. Yes, they have two embodiments of time. So if Time Trapper is entropy, the Infinite Man is the embodiment of time as endless recursion. The idea that time is a loop that goes on and on and on. Again and again and again.
Jackson Rugarth.
Yeah, I'm not pronouncing that.
Yeah, Jackson Rugarth is his real name, which is a crazy name.
Yes. So basically, he became the embodiment of time because he decided to smash a time cube and a hyper time drive together, and that blasted him into the time stream and made him the embodiment of time itself. And then he went insane because he can see all of time at once, which isn't great.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Legion also fights two different embodiments of time. Dos.
Right, and that's just two of their villains.
Yeah.
We already
So
talked
we have
about the Fatal Five.
The Fatal Five, yes. So the Fatal Five, we mentioned them before,
Right.
are five of the most powerful villains in the galaxy. So, sorry, I just hiccuped.
To put some context for it, the 30th century, 31st century is usually a pretty chill place.
Yeah.
And the Fatal Five is one of the rare villains that villain groups that pop up.
Yep. As we mentioned before. Oh, go ahead.
These are basically the worst of the worst, the baddest of the bad.
Mm-hmm. Emerald Empress, who has a magical eye of a magical demon god.
Yeah.
The Eye of Ekron. Thanks, Guardians of the Universe. Really, really doing great work, Guardians. Just solid work there. Mono, whose superpower is he has an antimatter hand.
Right.
That can blow up planets.
You don't even need all that.
Right? Tharak, who is a cyborg. He's the most unique version of a cyborg I've ever seen because he's not just half man, half machine. It is literally split down the middle.
Yeah, right. Like even a cyborg has like mostly cybernetic. He is half and half. He got
Exactly.
one robo nipple, one flesh nipple.
Right. Persuader, whose superpower is he has the atomic axe which can cut anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And Validus, who again is actually secretly Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl's baby, corrupted by
Right.
Darkseid.
Yeah. Also,
And
Mana was a mutant but too. So
oh yeah, thank you.
for my X-Men people.
Yep. Because in the future, metahumans they stop using the term metahuman and just start calling them mutants again.
Right.
There's a reason why. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
The controllers are just douchebag versions of the Guardians of the Universe. So if you don't like the Guardians, imagine even more douchebag versions of them.
Yeah, the controllers split off from the Guardians because they disagreed with their choices. So at first they made their own corps called the Dark Stars, and then they started making other weapons. They made the Sun Eaters because why
Yep.
not? And then they make one of the most infamous devices in Legion history, the Miracle Machine, which is something that grants to whatever wish you're thinking of.
Yes.
Any
It
thought
is
into
so dangerous
reality,
that it's so dangerous that the Legion just keeps it in Inertron all the time.
right?
Nope, nope, nope.
Any thought. So if you're thinking, damn, I would blow my brains out rather than listen to this. Boom, he dead.
Yep.
If you're thinking, damn, I would kill a baby for a sandwich right now.
Boom. You have the
Yeah.
sandwich and dead baby.
Right. So
So yeah.
they filled it up, like Terrence said, because the fact it can go off any straight thought.
Yep.
Like if you put a dog right next to the Miracle Machine, good lord.
Yep. Dr. Regulus, who is basically the same thing as Sunboy, except for even more powerful.
Yeah.
Not great.
I was gonna say, wasn't he like in charge of nuclear energy or something?
Yep. Let's see. Who else can we talk about? Mordru, who is a Lord of Chaos. Like you know how Dr. Fate is a Lord of Order? Mordru is a Lord of Chaos.
Yeah. And
He has all the magic of every sorcerer of the 31st century.
you never really he goes like sideways through time, you could say, or some shit like that. Cause
Yeah. He kind of steps between time.
yeah, which makes him even worse.
Yep.
And thankfully, when the Legion first faced him, he had a fear of like I think claustrophobia.
Yeah, he has severe claustrophobia, so he cannot stand being underground or sealed in tight spaces or anything like that.
Right. And I was like, I get why. Well, because he was buried alive.
Yeah.
He was in prison inside the planet. So, and when you in prison there for centuries and you probably still like awake, you got dirt in your
Mm-hmm.
eyes and your nose. And you got to deal with that. Yeah, that'll fuck me up too.
Yeah. Pulsar Stargrave, who is a Coluan who may or may not be Brainiac. He might be Brainiac. He might be Brainiac 1. He might be Brainiac 4. He might not be any Brainiac. He might just be an insane Coluan who's a Brainiac fanboy or is lying to mess with Brainiac
Brilliant.
5's head.
Yeah, that's
We
I kind
don't
of wish
know.
they never really elaborate on it, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah. But he has the power of an actual exploding pulsar, which is just fun.
And he's a super genius, so he already abusing that.
Oh yeah.
And the pulsar lets him be super strong because when he first meets a Legion, he sent Superboy flying off the planet. And
Yep.
now, if you send in Superboy flying off the planet, you obviously in a different weight class.
Right. Darkseid, who is Darkseid,
Right. Enough said there. There's not much that you really need to say.
Composite Man, who is a bioengineered Durlan mutant. So he was already a mutant, and then they
Right.
bioengineered him.
They were like, it's not enough.
Remember when I said the Durlans are the worst? This is why.
They're terrible.
Yeah. Whose superpower is he can mimic the powers of the entire legion of superheroes. Hence why they call him Composite Man.
Right.
Computo, who was originally a mechanical assistant of Brainiac 5, that pulled a Zero Law rebellion and decided the problem with the universe is all sapient life, so,
Yeah.
kill them all.
And considering his creator was Brainiac, he was already pretty smart. And that makes it worse because now you got one of the smartest people in the universe making something that's as smart as him. And you got to plan against that.
And the Legion of Supervillains, which is just a bunch of people with similar powers to the Legion of Superheroes, but evil.
Or they just got beef with him.
Or they just have beef with them, depending on who you're talking about. Like, for example, Lightning Lord is Lightning Lad's older brother.
Who didn't have a twin. He kind of felt some kind of way about that.
Yeah, he was like, everyone bullied me for not having a twin, so I hate you. And then Garth was like, dude, I've literally never bullied you a day in my life. I've always looked up to you. Shut up. You hated me too. Are we even having the same conversation?
No. There's, Magno Lad, Micro Lad.
Yeah.
Nemesis Kid, who was a Legionnaire undercover in the Legion as member Legion of Supervillains.
Yep.
There was also...
And then it turned out he was evil. And everyone was like, wait, why didn't we realize you were evil? He's like, I'm a very good actor.
Hello, Nemesis.
Right?
But there's also Ovir.
Go ahead.
Lil Daxa, my boy.
Yeah.
Who, this is really messed up. Chameleon Lad put him in a cell with Validus. Like, I get the kid was being a brat, but you put him in a cell with somebody who boxes Daxamites regularly and whoops on them.
Yeah.
No wonder he joined the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, yeah. Also because he worshipped Darkseid. That's the other reason.
Right. He's like, worship this. There's a...
let's see, who else? There is personally, the creepiest two villains of all time, Charma and Grimsbor the Chainsman.
Oh, okay, yeah, that works.
Yeah, just okay. So Charma is a mutant whose power is she causes all men to fall in love with her and all women to hate her. And then when her powers activated, she was in an all-girl school.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Universo, who is...
Oh my god, Universo. So Universo is probably one of the best villains because he's a former Green Lantern.
Yeah, and that makes you wonder, why is he a former Green Lantern? What'd he do to get kicked out?
Two things. First, he tried to see the beginning of the universe. Two, the Guardians were like, oh, you're actually a sociopath. We
got to get this ring fixed, because why the fuck?
That's twice. Twice.
Right. So, the fact that he's an ex-Green Lantern should already raise a red flag.
Yeah, because you know who else is the next Green Lantern? Sinestro.
Right. And he's a fucking schemer.
Yeah. So Universo's power is he has mass hypnosis that if at any point you are in the room with him or can see him even through a television screen, he can hypnotize you. He can erase your memory. He can shift your loyalty. He can even implant it so that you still have your own independent thought, but his subroutines are working in the background.
Yep.
So all the Legion's villains are either planet-stopping menaces, planet-destroying menaces, or weird hacks or weird hacksy people. This is why they jump everybody.
Or the terrorist group, the Dark Circle, led by In one iteration, Brainiac's mama, Brainiac 4,
Yeah.
who did it just because she wanted to see what it was like.
She literally tried to take over the universe. Just was like, I don't know, I'm bored.
Just so she could feel something.
Yeah. Then there's the White Triangle, which is a group of dark side
Yes.
worshipping, xenophobic, murderous Daxamites.
Yeah, which they weren't dark side worshipping later on, but they were Daxamite supremacists who believed in Marvel as, the peak, and he
Because
would
like
never
before
associate with the lesser races.
right, because like before the reboot, they were dark side worshippers. After
Right. And gave them
Great
all
Dark
power.
Saga. Then after the reboot, they were just like, do they have to worship Darkseid? Can they just be Daxamite supremacists? And everyone was like, yeah, that's fair.
They're like, we're just better than you.
Yeah. They'd be
And they
like, who hurt you?
And they blow up
Everyone
Chemical
hurt
Lad's planet
Yeah.
once they get powers.
The Kuns.
Which is, imagine Klingons, but with much, much worse personalities.
Imagine Klingons if they had the same ability to adapt during battle. That's Kuns. Yeah. And also, no sense of restraint, no sense of honor. No, they do have a sense of honor. Their sense of honor is just backwards.
Twisty. And
But
then
they're. Go ahead. You're stacking.
The Dominators.
Oh, yeah. The Dominators. The Dominators. Look, what do you want us to say about the Dominators? They are an alien species called the Dominators.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
They're not called the Peacebringers or the Great to Be Around.
The Guardians are.
Exactly. They are the Dominators. Their only goal in life is to show up on your planet and say, this is mine now.
Yep.
And then you'd be like, but I like this planet. And they're like, we like this planet too.
But we don't like you here. So
exactly. So we have made this joke many, many times, but like the reason why we keep making the joke that the Legion only deals in jumping is because across all the iterations of the Legion of superheroes, if someone says "Let's go Legion" or "Long live Legion," they're going to jump you. It's going to be like 5 or 6 people beating on you at once.
At least 5.
At least 5, yes. You must accept this. You must accept that if you are going to fight the Legion of superheroes,
you may get through 4 of them. You may get through 5 of them, but you're going down sooner or later.
Oh, yeah. It is one of the best things about them because they be doing the most off-the-wall combo moves you've ever seen in your life. You'll see like Shadowlass wrap you in shadows just for Timberwolf and Karate Kid to drop kick you out of the darkness where Monel's just going to clothesline you. And then you're just on the ground like, was any of that necessary?
And they'll tell you yes, and you better not argue.
Yeah, exactly. So that is our talk on the Legion of Superheroes. Do you have any recommendations of any storylines you think everyone should read?
Foundations from the Reboot Legion, which deals with the probably the second best dark side story in the Legion.
Oh yeah.
Besides that, Legion Lost, All of the Legion by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning.
Yeah.
And Superman Legion of Superheroes.
Of course.
And even the cartoon was solid.
Oh my god, the cartoon. We forgot to talk about the cartoon. The cartoon is amazing.
Yeah. Even if you don't really know much about the Legion, it's a good introduction to it.
That's the lovely thing about the cartoon. You do not have to know anything about the Legion to enjoy that cartoon. If that cartoon is your first exposure to the Legion of Superheroes, you're going to have a good time.
Right.
I would also recommend the Great Darkness Saga, of course.
Of course, yeah. Valid.
The Teen Titans, Superboy, and the Legion of Superheroes crossover.
Okay, yeah.
The Magic Wars, of course.
Yeah.
And to get you ready for Superman: The Legion of Superheroes, Justice League: The Lightning Saga.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I can see that one.
Yeah. So, seriously, enjoy this series. This is one of our favorite teams. More people need to learn about this team. Long live the Legion.
Yeah.
And also, DC, can y'all do us a favor? Can y'all stop bullying the Legion? Just like the last 5 years, the only time we've seen the Legion is when they're being slaughtered by Darkseid's Legion. And I'd appreciate if my boys didn't get killed immediately. It's like, hey, this is our first time back in Rebirth, and we're dead.
Yeah, let's use somebody else.
Yeah,
we got other teams,
right? All right. Thank you so much for being my guest star today. I really appreciate you, Aaron.
No problem, man. It was fun. We should do this sometime again.
We should. Later days.
All right. Deuces, man.
Deuces. And then we